Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Sunday edition of Play Loves Logic, where on this channel I solve logic-based Sudoku puzzles I find interesting. Today I'm going to be looking at the puzzle Cave Escape by Krusti Clawn. As always, I'll put the link to this puzzle in the description of the video so you can try it out if you'd like, but with that in mind, let's turn our attention to the rules. After falling through a hole in the ground, you find yourself in a pitch-black cave with nothing but a torch and your wits to help you navigate back to the surface. Okay, normal Sudoku rules apply. You have to have the digits 1 to 9 in every 3x3 box, in every row, in every column. Cave escape. The grid is a cave shrouded in darkness, starting in row 7, column 1. Move through the cave from cell to cell until you find an exit. Thick brown cave walls block movement. I think that might be this. And maybe there's a piece of it there. Let's see. To move to a cell, enter correct digit into it, which will light it up and possibly reveal more clues. Once you've moved to a cell, you're free to revisit it at any point and continue your search from there, as you might well run into dead ends elsewhere. You may only move to cells orthogonally adjacent to at least one previously visited cell. For clarity, even if you know what digit must go into a cell, you're not allowed to enter it until you can reach that cell by orthogonal movement through the expanding walkable area. Oh, that's cool. Okay, XV, digits separated by an X sum to 10, digits separated by a V sum to 5. Now all X's and V's are given. Okay, we know those. Arrows, digits along a red arrow must sum to the digit in the attached circle. Digits may repeat along arrows if allowed by other rules. Arrows may not branch, cross, or overlap. As we can see, we don't have any arrows right now, so I can't really go into detail on that, but we will when we get there. German whispers, adjacent digits on a green line must have a minimum difference of 5. So that's how we get our first digit, and we'll finish the rules first. But basically, on a German whisper line, if you have a 2 beside it, you could have a 7 or an 8 or a 9, something. It has to be at least 5 or more. And killer cages, digits within a dashed cage cannot repeat and must sum to the small number written somewhere on the border of the cage, if given. Colors are purely for aesthetics and visual disambiguation. Oh, that's interesting. So this usually in killer cages, the small number would be in the top left corner, but we can see this extends up. So that's cool. Okay. Anyways, those are the rules. And let's have a go. One thing I can tell you about German whispers right away is there's 5 can't be on a German whisper, because if you have a 5, what do you put on the other end of it? 0 or 10, neither of which are valid. And 4 and 6 are monogamous. And what that means is 4 can only go beside a 9. 6 can only go beside a 1. It's the only difference of 5. If you add 5 to 6, you get 11, which is not a valid Sudoku digit. So the fact that we have a 6 on a German whisper means that this is a 1. And this is an okay, so this is a 4, and I want to put that there, but I'm not allowed, aren't I? Because move through the cave from cell to cell until you find an exit. Thick brown cave walls block movement. To move to a cell, enter a correct digit into it, which will light up. Yeah, but so you may only move to cells orthogonally adjacent to at least one previously visited cell. So we actually can't put this 4 in here. We're not allowed. Even if you know what digit must go into a cell, you're not allowed to enter it until you can reach that cell by orthogonal movement through your expanding walkable area. What does that mean? Okay, so we have to go to this 10 cage instead. And we know this 10 cage is at least 3 digits. We can't enter this one because we can see that we're not allowed to. We have to be able to enter this one. So this cage can't have a 1 in it anymore unless the 1's there. So what's available? It's at least, well, it's going to be exactly 3 digits because we need to sum to 10. So we need 4 more value. So it's going to have to just be 3, 1 because it can't be double 2. So this is a 3. We can put that in. Now we know this is a 1, but we're not allowed to put that in. So I'm just going to pencil mark it for now. Now this we know is a 4, and we can go to this. But what's the red line? Is that arrows? Yeah, red arrow sum to the digit in the attached circle. See, now we can go in this way, so we can put a 4 in here. We're allowed.
Huh, that's so cool. Okay, so what is that now telling us? One of these is a 2 and one of these is a 9, isn't it? Because we're gonna now force to have 2, 3, 4 on an arrow. So 2, 3, 4 sums to 9. So one of these is 2, one of these is 9. But what do we do with that then? Well, I think that means that this cell has to be a 2, doesn't it? Because if this is a 9, then we need to put, because see, what I'm seeing here is just a little piece of German Whisper in this little tiny corner. There's a little dash of green. So if we put a 9 here, we'd have to put a low digit in this cell, but we have 1, 3, 4 already, and the 2, if this is the 9, the 2 will be here. So there's no way that we can fulfill this by putting a low digit. I also haven't pointed it out yet, but this is a thick fog puzzle, and we haven't done those on the channel yet. So let me just explain that briefly. Oh, sorry, I accidentally muted myself. A thick fog puzzle is the fog is so thick that placing a correct digit only reveals that cell. Usually in a fog puzzle, if you put a 5 here and 5 was correct, you would get all of this information. But in this puzzle, you only get 1. But it's not hard yet. I'm sure it might get there. But okay, so what was I saying? This now has to be a 2 because we need to put a high digit here. If we put a 9 here, we can't put a low digit there. So this is a 2. Okay, and we can in fact visit this. So we are allowed to put a 9 here. And we can visit this orthogonally. So we're allowed to put an 8 here. And that is going to give us enough to put what remaining digits? 7 and 5. And we know that we can never have a 5 on a German Whisper. Whoops, sorry, I did not mean to do that. I meant to take the 7 off. Yeah, we can't have a 5 on a German Whisper. I mean, I know that's correct. It's pretty clear, but we can't visit this cell yet. So we know it's a 5. We can't put a 5 in there yet. But we can use that to solve this 13 cage, can't we? Because 5 plus 7 is 12, which means this can only be a 1. We know this is a 9 because it's a 10 cage, but we can't put a 9 there yet. We're not allowed, so we can't visit that cell. We can only put things in a few different places. Here, here, and here, it looks like. Well, not here yet. I actually can't put something there. It's not orthogonally adjacent. So this is a 1. The German Whisper says we need to put something high on both of these. We'll have to have from 6 and 7, 8 and 9. This one is not an 8 or a 9, and this one's not a 7. So I want to now say that this has, well, the problem is this doesn't have to be a 7. Oh, but look, this 1 also goes to this, so this has to be a 6, 7. So this is only 8 or 9, and this is a 6, 7 pair. One of them is the 7, but I can't put them in. Oh, but what we can say is we know this one's a 9 because of this X, and the X denotes that these two have to sum to 10. So we can put an 8 there, and we can visit this cell orthogonally. That is allowed. Okay, now we have a 13 cage, and we already have an 8 in it. So we need a minimum value of, well, we need an exact value of 5. And we can't do that in more than 2 cells. It has to be exactly 2. And then this cell here can see 1, 3, and 4. So this has to be a 2. And now we can visit this cell orthogonally, and we can put a 3 in, which is the friend. We still can't put this 9 in here. We're not allowed. But so what is, okay, so this isn't, oh, that's interesting. So this is an arrow. It's also a German Whisper. So okay, so this is a 9, and this is the end of the arrow, which is going to give us a 7 and a 6. And the way I can see that is you have to have a difference of at least 5 on a German Whisper. You just do. So if you have to have a difference of at least 5, then the lowest digit we can put is 7. But this row sees 7 and 8. So therefore, this has to be 9, which means these have to sum to 9. So this has to be 7, and we're allowed to put a 7 in. And we can see this cell orthogonally, and we know it's a 6, so we're allowed to put that in. Well, what do we need here now? We know this is a 9, so we need the digits 1, 2, 3. We need a 4 and a 5. We'll pencil mark those. Oh, and we know this is a 5. We can visit this cell and we know this is a 5 because it has to fulfill this 13 cage. So this is a 4 and this is a 5, and we are allowed to fill both of those in. Well, this is a pretty big cage now. It's got to have a pretty big total. Okay, well, let's look at this now. We have a 4. We have a 12 cage, so we are allowed to move in. And we only need 3 digits left here. We need 2, 7, and 8 in this row because we know what these two are. We're not allowed to put them in. Okay, so if this is an 8, it would satisfy it would satisfy this requirement. That would sum to 12. If it's a 7, it would require a 1 somewhere, and the cage would have to move up. If it was a 2, it would require a 6, and again, the cage would have to do this. All of that's valid, so I'm going to look elsewhere for now. Digits are not allowed to repeat in cages. I think we might have to use that. Is that correct? Digits within a cage cannot repeat. Yes, we might be able to use that to our advantage here. Because now what do we need in this row? We need 5 and 6. And then down here, what do we need? Oh, and that is going to work, but I'll pencil mark this first. We're going to need a 1, a 3, and a 4. Oh, so why that works is we need a 5 and a 6 here, but we can't repeat digits in cages. We can see this yellow cage clearly expands into this cell. It also expands to this cell and this cell. This cage looks something like that. And there's already a 5 in this cage. So this is a 6. Now we know this is a 5, but we're not allowed to put it in. We also know this is a 4, but we're not allowed to put that in. And we know it's a 4 because it's on a 10 pair with a 6. But we can't visit this yet, so we're not allowed to put that in. Well, now this is now the base of the arrow, which is going to give us a 2, and we're allowed to put that in. We can extend up this way. So this is a 2 because it has to sum to 6. 7 and 8 are higher than 6. Now this is basically, it's either a, oh, it's not a 4. I was going to say it's basically has to be a 4, but this is a 4. So this is actually going to be from 1 or 3, but we know this is a 1. So this cell's a 3, and then wherever the cage goes, one of 3 positions, we're going to get a 1. But we can't put that in yet. Well, we actually that's interesting. Okay, so we know this is a 1, which means there's no 1 in this row. So the cage or the arrow does exactly just go up. And the fact that we can't have a 1 here now means this has to be an 8, doesn't it? And we can visit that. Because if this was a 7, 7 plus 4 is 11, we'd have to have a 1 somewhere here. Like this would have to be a 1. And it can't be because this is a 1. So we now know that this is an 8, and we are allowed to do that. We know this is a 7, but we're not allowed to do that. We can't fill that in yet because we can't visit that way. 8, we're going to need a 1, 2, or 3, remember, because it has to be a difference of 5. And we can see that we already have a 1 and a 3 in this box. So this couldn't be 1 or 3. This is 2, and we are allowed to visit that cell. So now what are we learning? We can go this way or this way. Looks like we have a pretty big cage. Possibly. Oh, well, what we're learning is we can go into this cell. Yeah, we can put the 3 there now. And we can put the 1. That's totally allowed. A 16 cell or a 16 value cage. We know this is a 9. We're not allowed to put it in yet. We can see this X. So we have 6 already. We need a value of 10 in these 2 digits. And how can we do that? There's only one way we can do that, actually, isn't there? Because 1, 2, and 3 are all in this box already. So I think it just has to be 4, 6 in that way specifically. But that's not. That is true, actually. That is true because imagine if we put the low digit here. What are our options for low digits that can go here? Can't be a 2 or a 3 or a 1 or a 4. That's the only way we can do this. We can't put the 6 in yet. We're not allowed because of this wall. We can put the 4 in. So we are going to put the 4 in. Okay, and now what goes here? We need something that can be at least 5 away from this 1. So our options are 6 would be valid, except this C is a 6, 7 and 8. We can't put a 9 because we know that this is a 9. So this is only 7 or 8. I don't think we can say anything about it yet. We're not allowed to fill any of these digits in, even though we know what they are. We're not allowed to fill this one or this one. So where do we go from here? Oh, I know where we go from here. This is a 5, of course. We can put that in. Because remember in this box, we know this is a 5. This is always a 5. It's the only digit left. Which means, where do you put a 5 in this box? And you can't put it here because this has to be 7 or 8, and it can't be here. This is a 5, and we're allowed to do that. Now we get an arrow. Oh, we get lots of stuff. A box that sums to 12, an arrow, and the German whisper. Tons of stuff. Okay, let us think. We need this box to equal 12. There's already 5 in it, which means we have 7 left. What are our options? Well, to make 7, and I think this hint of green is saying that this is a German whisper. It just is, isn't it? So we need German whisperable digits that sum to 7. That is the takeaway here, isn't it? We can't. Yeah, we have to just use 1 therefore. So we have to use 1 and 7, I guess, don't we? Or 1 and 6, sorry. That's the only German whisper way that you can make. You can make that. So what does that tell us? Let me think for a second. 1 and 6, I said. 5. So we need 7 more. Yeah, it just has to be 1 and 6. And we know this is a 6. This is a 1. And that makes this a 6. And we are allowed to visit that cell. And that closes the 12 page. And now this arrow, wow, this arrow is long, isn't it? And we already have 6 of value on it. So this one of these is higher than 6. What else can we even add? 6, we can only add a 2 or a 3 to get 9. And this can't be 2 or 3. This is 9, and we're allowed to see that cell. Is that right? Let me think. Or could it be 1? Well, 5 plus 1 is 6, so we could add 2 or 3 to get 8 or 9. That's, yeah, and this can't be 2 or 3. So this is 8 or it's 9. And then this is 2 or 3. Is that right? That would force this to be actually, that would force this to be a 3. And that would give us a 9. But let's just think for a second. This arrow is clearly 2 more digits. So 1 is the end of the arrow and 1 is the tip. So this is already 6. We can add 2 or 3. We can't add 2 or 3 here. Here we can only add 3. Yeah, we can't put that in yet, but we can put 9 in here. That's allowed, and that's correct. So we have lots of little correct digits. I'm ready to start filling in when we get there. But we must wait. What are we now allowed to put in? This digit and this digit are the only things we're allowed to put in. What does that tell us then? What is probably something here, right? Maybe not. Maybe it is going to be something here. What do we know about this? Can't be 1, 2, or 4. Oh, well, you know, these can only be 3 things at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, isn't it? Yeah, and this is not 9. So this is a 7 or an 8. That's nice. Just give me 1 second here. I'm going to pause this briefly. Okay, sorry about that. Joys of owning a little tiny puppy. Let us resume the puzzle. Because this is a very, very fun puzzle. I'm having a lot of fun. Krusti Clawn, very, very interesting rule set to sort of have where I know what the digits are, but I'm not allowed to put them in yet. Oh, Yeah, it's fun. I was gonna say, oh, I can put this in now, but that's true. I can put it in. I just don't know what it is. Okay, sorry. So what do we need here now? Oh, I do know what this is, don't I? This has to be 7. So we have to put a 7 here because where else would a 7 go? Yeah, this is 7. I keep forgetting about these, the pencil marks that like I know what the digits are, but I'm just not allowed to put them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 6 and 8, which will not resolve, but we can put them in regardless. Okay, so 7 at the start of an arrow now, therefore, this has to be low digits. Because there's already a 6 in this cage, so it can't be 6, 1. Our options are then 2, 5, which would, I want to say we can't have, but we could, specifically just if this was 2, and then 5 would have to go here, which is possible. That's the only way this arrow could get to that. The other way we can get to 7 is via 3 and 4. And we do need a 4 in this row, certainly, because of Sudoku. So if it's 3, 4, it's 3, 4 in any sense. Okay, what about this row? What are the digits that we need here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just 5 and 8, certainly. Yeah. Just 5 and 8. And then what do we need here? We need 1, 3. Dude, my dog is a crazy dog. One second, sorry. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's got to be a decent amount of restriction on this digit now, doesn't there? Because we sorry, Ellie, you're my toy. All right, here, Ellie's toy right at her. This, hey, come here, come on. Go get your toy. I don't want to play this game where you bark at me. And I chase after you. Not really. It's too early in the morning, baby. Not fun to be barked at. So what is this digit actually? I mean, we know 5 digits is not. It's not 5, 7, 6, 8, or 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yeah. So we do have a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. And then what do we need here? We need 1, 3, and 7. Yeah, 1, 3, and 7. Okay. If this was 4, 3, what's that saying? This is 4, 3. So this is 1. So this is 3. This is 1, 7, and then this is 2. And that works. What is it saying if it's 2, 5? If it's 2, 5, this is 8. I wish I knew what this cage total was. That would help. Oh, this is only a 6. So this is an 8. So this is a 6, and that I'm allowed to do. I can put a 6 in there. Okay, that helps. Because now we know that this is 4, which I can put in because look, I can actually visit this cage. Okay, and I know this is a 3 because it needs to sum to 7. And that means I know that this is therefore, well, 1, I know that this is a 1, which I can not put in yet, but I know all of the, I know all of those. So this is now only a 2, and I am allowed to put that in. Actually, I can put the 9 in now. Oh, and I can put the 8. I'm allowed to put the 7 in. I bet you this just goes all the way down. I can probably put all these in now. 1, 4, and 3. Okay, great. Great. Well, now we have a 1-7 pair and a 5-8 pair. So now we have to think about this 14 cage. What does it mean to us? Because we have 2, so we need to get to 12. And the way we're going to have to do that is probably 5 and 7. Because how far can this cage move in a way that we could get to 12 a different way? If this is an 8, it would immediately require a 4. Or well, actually, look, if this is an 8, you have 10. And then you need to put a 2 in somewhere, and you can't repeat digits in cages. That alone is enough to say this is a 5, and we're allowed to put it in. 8's also fine. This now is 7. This has to be 7. And we are allowed to put 1 in here. This is no longer 7. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna grab my dog's toy that she's barking. Hi, miss. Hi. I'm trying to do a puzzle, okay? Go get your toy. And she did. Okay. So we know now that this has to be, what does this have to be? This is an 8. We're not allowed to put it in, but we can use that to put 7 in here, which we are allowed to do. Wow. Okay, so we can put 9 in. 33. That's a huge, monstrously big cage total. This is a German whisper that we can't put in, but we can say that these digits have to be a 1-2 pair, don't they? Because 7 requires both this and this to be low, and they both have to be 5 away. So this is a 2 because of this 1, which would make this a 1. Now, again, not allowed to put that in yet, but I do know it's true. Okay, well, 7, 8, 9 is already 15, 24. So we really only have another 9 values, yeah, to put into this cage. So how do we do that? These are going to be, well, there's a 3 that's going to be over here because of this 3, and this 3. So either this is a 3 or this is a 3. And if we need to get 9 more units of value, is there something about the cages moving? Well, I mean, we know that this cage has to go, at least it goes here. Then once it's here, it could either go there or there. But what is interesting is actually this cage extends this way, doesn't it? It does. So it can't be, because I was thinking it could be 6, 3, and that would give us the required total. But now I'm thinking this cage looks like that. Because, like I said, so we only need 9 more digits. This could be the whole cage, and this could be 6, 2, 1. In fact, that is what it is, isn't it? Well, I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but I can tell you this is a 6. Because look, this is a 6 for sure. And you can't put a 6 here, and we know what these 2 digits are. This is a 6, and we are allowed to put that in. And now we can put in 2, and we can put in 1. And that solves the cage. Great. A German whisper we can now put in has to be only 9 because 6, 7, and 8 are spoken for. This is a 9. Okay, now we only need 2 digits in this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 4, so this is a 5. Yeah, that's the only remaining digit. 5, now we can put in the 3. We can put in the 6. We can put in the 4. Now what? Only 3 digits left. One of these is a 2. And then we need a 7 and an 8. 7 somewhere down here. 8 somewhere up here. This can't be 2 or 8, so it is 7. And now we're allowed to revisit this. We're allowed to put the 9 in, and we're allowed to put the 5 in. Great. So this 7, there's a German whisper here, so we have to put something lower than 7. 5 lower. So our options are 1 or 2, and it can't be a 1. So that's a 2. We can't fill it in yet, but we can put an 8 there. And we can see this cell now. So we can put a 2 here. We can see this cell. Ooh, I was about to put a 3. Actually, I think I have to put a 3, don't I? Well, no, let's think about that. Actually, I can't put a 3. If I put a 3, then that sums to 5, and we can only have 2. So in fact, this is not a 3. This is the 3. Can this ever be 1, 4? No, this can only be 5. And now, what do we, 1, 2, 3, this is a 4, and we're allowed to put it in. This is a 3, and we're allowed to put it in. This is such a fun puzzle. Wow, I'm really enjoying this. What do we need here now? We need 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5, which is here. And then we need whatever this digit is, which is a naked single, and it is, in fact, 9. 9 we're allowed to put in. And I can put 2 in now. A 6 cage. We need 4 more units of value. It can't be 1 or 3. 1, yeah, because you could do a 1-3 pair. That would get you 4, but there's nowhere to put a 1, so it just has to be 4. And we're allowed to put that in because we can see it this way. 2 more cells in this row. 1, 2, we need a 3 somewhere. This is a 3 via that 3. And then we know what this is, but we can't put it in yet. Let's just pencil mark it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll be an 8. 1 we're allowed to get there. Down here, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, aren't we? And via this 6, this is a 6. So this is a 7 when we can get there, which I think we'll be able to do now. So we have 5, a 1, a 7, and an 8, which we... Okay, this is a 2 because of the X, which we're allowed to do. Okay, well now, really, we're almost done. What do we need here? 1, 2, we need a 3 somewhere. And we need an 8. Great. Up top, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, which is here, via this 4, and 5, which is here, and we're allowed to fill in. 5 into the 4. 4 is monogamous with German Whisper. I don't even have to think. I can just put a 9 in. That's going to give us a 1. This is now going to be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6. Ah, no exit. It seems your puzzle solving career has come to an end. That's so funny that it just filled out the last digits. That's so funny. 124 people have solved this puzzle in 1.9 days. I love this puzzle. Krusti, Clawn, that was so much fun. That was so fun. Oh man, I had such a good time with that puzzle. Wow, I hope everyone gives that a try. That was a lot of fun. Okay, Krusti, Clawn, Cave Escape. Great puzzle. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.